Hello, all. Welcome back once again to my YouTube class. This is Manjit Rawat, your online instructor, and in this session, I'm going to define you about related to the vCenter server environment. So, as we know that in our vSphere 7.0 session, we have already completed up to 14 different sessions, and we discussed about ESXi domain, about the standard switch networking, about the shared storage. Now, vCenter come into the picture because you know that if you want to manage multiple ESXi, if you want to control multiple virtual machines, so you must need to involve the vCenter server. So this is first session related to the vCenter server. So I'm going to define from scratch like what are the prerequisites that you need to know before install the vCenter server, and we'll also discuss about the procedure how to download vCenter server appliance from VMware site, and how we can set up our on-premises environment over a workstation or base machine to install the vCenter. Okay, so let's talk from very basic. Our agenda to install the vCenter and understand about the features or services which is available in vCenter. So vCenter, if we talk about the usage, means why vCenter come into the picture and what are the benefits of vCenter server. Remember guys, so I'm going to show you the one practical, like this is our ESXi host, right, that we installed before. 192.168.1.17. This is the IP address, static IP address that we established for our ESXi. And whenever we open our IP address, whenever we try to open the ESXi with the help of web browser, you need to provide the IP address of individual ESXi host, right? Provide the credential that you used while installation of ESXi, and then we are able to get a inventory. This is the inventory panel, means GUI or inventory panel, you can say that. Think about if you have a multiple ESXi in our environment, like you establish 5 different ESXi. So what you need to do? You need to each and every ESXi contain our own IP address. Means it's our responsibility to just use the IP address of each and every ESXi and open a multiple wizard on our system and paste the IP address of ESXi, and then we are able to access the GUI panel or inventory of every ESXi. Means you need to open 5 different page to manage your 5 different ESXi. Correct? This is the basic understanding why vCenter come into the picture. It's a really basic requirement to install the vCenter server. Now, vCenter server can help you to manage multiple ESXi on single page, right? So, for example, you have a 3 different ESXi. You install 3 different ESXi on different base machine. I'm talking about, right? Like this is ESXi 1, okay, ESXi host 2, ESXi host 3, and each and every ESXi must be contain our own IP address. Like first ESXi contain 1.17. This is the IP address for one ESXi, and another 192.168.1.18, right, and 192.168.1.19. Okay, each and every ESXi contain our own IP address. Now, vCenter server come into the picture. If you want to manage the each and every ESXi, what you need to do? You need to connect every host, every ESXi to vCenter server. And vCenter server contain our own IP address like 192.168.1.25, the IP address of our vCenter server. Now, if you want to manage entire ESXi, what you need to do? Open any browser, HTTPS, and type the IP address of our vCenter server 192.168.1.25, right? And once you access your vCenter server, you are able to control, you are able to manage the features or option which is available in your ESXi. ESXi 1, ESXi 2, ESXi 3. Means entire ESXi, not only the 3. If you establish more than 10, more than 100, more than 1000, you are able to access entire ESXi on the single vCenter inventory page. This is the page for vCenter inventory, you can say that. Correct? And the number of VMs that you created in ESXi, you will be get the entire information in the same panel. No need to open a separate panel for each and every ESXi host. Clear? So this is the basic information, basic understanding of vCenter server. Now I'm going to move ourselves and define the other benefits of vCenter server. Right. If we talk about the core features that contained by the vCenter server, so we have a number of options. The first is manage multiple ESXi. Okay, this is one of important part. multiple ESXi hosts we can manage with the help of single vCenter server. First, second, we are able to configure clone. If we talk about creating clone or template that can help us. Third step is related to the migration. Fourth step related to our vCenter server. If we talk about the services, so we are able to create a cluster, and cluster can help us to manage HA and DRS. Right? We are able to perform to create a alert. We can configure vApp service. We are able to manage the vCenter server. vSAN server. Okay, so these all are the features that you will be get in case of our vCenter server environment. Means it's you can say that these all are the reasons that we need to establish vCenter server in our environment. Clone can help you to create another copy. Template can help you to create a master copy of your VM. Migration, multiple migration option you will be get, like as a migrate our VM from host to host, migrate our VM from data center to data center, or storage to storage, like a number of migration options we will get in after installation of vCenter server. So these all are the features you can say that we need to that we will get after installation of vCenter server. Now, about the installation, the one of important topics, how to install the vCenter server on our environment. Okay, how to install vCenter server in this sense? You must need to know about the prerequisite. So talk about the prerequisite. So basically, I'm planning to give you option, give you a step to install vCenter server in appliance. So we need to establish one ESXi with good configuration. This is our ESXi host, right? The first step, you need to establish one ESXi. And for vCenter server installation, what you need to do, minimum RAM size should be 14 gig, okay? And CPU code is minimum 2 core of CPU. And about the storage, so you must need to use minimum hard disk space should be 250 gig. Okay, you can say that this is the prerequisite for hardware. Means you must need to establish your ESXi with this configuration. This is the first requirement. Second prerequisite, download. What we need to do? Download ISO of or OVA of vCenter server appliance. Okay, so this is the prerequisite. And another important part, your system should be connected, your ESXi should be connected with at least domain member. Configure domain. Right, and we are also responsible to manage the DNS record. So these all are the prerequisites that we need to know before installation of our vCenter server environment. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give you the proper step. Firstly, need to know about, I installed a one ESXi with configuration of 13 gig of RAM, 2 core of CPU, and up to 250 gig of hard drive. Second important part, you must need to download the ISO image of our vCenter server. So how we can get it? We just need to open any browser. Okay, if you want to download the vCenter server, you know that we have option to download any VMware tool with the help of VMware site. We just need to create our account over a VMware site and we are able to download. Just need to type download vCenter server 7.0. Okay, it will redirect you on the page of VMware site, and you must need to use your own mail ID on registered ID and log in and just proceed with download. The capacity of ISO image is approximately 8.86, means approximately 9 GB of size. You just need to download it, and once you download, you need to use the same ISO image to install your vCenter server, right? So just need to download it. It asks you related to the registration ID. So you must need to sign up. If you don't have ID, you must need to sign up. Like I created my ID. Let me check. Okay, so if you don't have ID, you just need to click here and sign up yourself by using your Gmail account, and you need to create your ID, and you are able to download any tools related to the vCenter server. So these all are the prerequisites that you need to keep in mind before before start installation of our uh, ESXi host. And last option is related to the domain controller. So I have already created a domain controller on server 2016, and in last session we discussed about how we can assign our ESXi to domain controller. So these all are the prerequisite about the installation. I'm just going to take care the all part, means I just need to download the ISO image and manage the each and every setup before installation. And in next session I'll guide you how you can install the vCenter server step by step. Okay guys, so I hope you're aware about the prerequisite and why we need to install domain controller, why we need to install vCenter server in our environment related to the virtualization. So that's it guys, we'll connect soon in next video and discuss about the procedure. Thank you, take care.